Hey guys, I'm out here in my garage again, but you know what? I'm not going to be doing any decluttering out here today because it is hot. So we're going to go back in the house as soon as I grab one of these. I'll show you why in just a second. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Melinda, plain and simple. Got this little froggy in here on the table with a few other things because the theme for this month's 10 Minutes Better, July, is soul searching. I hope you are doing a 10 minutes better along with me. Let me know down in the comments, and be sure you check out the playlist for the other ladies. I can't wait to see what all they're coming up with. I know what a couple of them, kind of what they're going to do, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. I really can't wait to see it. Soul can be spelled different ways, so one of the ways is SOL for solar, sun. So anything that has to do with outside, anything that has to do with the sun, bathing suits, or even winter things. You know, it's too hot to be wearing all that winter stuff. So any of that stuff would be something you could do for soul searching with SOL. But we also could do things that are for ourselves or for our fantasy selves. Letting go of things that we've been hanging on to because, you know, our fantasy self thinks we're going to do it. Or maybe things that have to do with your soul, you know, going through things like that. Books about self-help, you know, anything like that that you want to go through. But I had a few more pieces of fabric downstairs. You may know that I had 3 cabinets full of fabric, and I'm down to just a little bit. So I went down there and grabbed out some more because I decided I'm not going to do it. And I looked at it again, and I thought, well, you know, I'm probably not going to do anything with this one. It's pretty, but it's Christmas one. You know, you could do something with white. And then I was like, I got this like feeling inside that said, I don't want to. So even though it's a nice big piece of fabric, you know, in white, I mean, I could use it for something. I just felt like inside, I was like, no. It just made me feel down. It brought my mood down just thinking about it. So then I had, you know, this, and I had this purple, and I thought, oh, purple is my favorite color. And I set this one aside, and I thought, well, maybe I'll you know, keep that one. I could do something with it. And then again, I had that feeling of no. You know, it's like it's kind of instead of a feeling of peace, it's a feeling of angst or some. I don't know if that's the best way I can describe it right now. But it was just something about it was like telling me no. So I'm not going to do anything with it. And then you know, I'm not going to do anything with this. And another piece of white fabric here. No, it's a light purple. It's a light purple. And then I got to this one, and I thought, oh, that's pretty. And there's a lot of it. I could make some curtains for my office maybe or something. And then I thought, no, because I was feeling that feeling of anxiety that, you know, just the whole idea of having that on my plate to do, you know, just the whole idea of it. And I used to sew all the time, but now it's like when I get that feeling about it, I'm listening to that feeling, and I'm just saying, no, it's time to let it go. If I'm feeling anxiety over the idea of doing whatever that project is, then no. And so I'm listening to that. So all of these are going. So that is my soul searching with SOUL. Okay. So now let's go see what we got. Oh, then there's SOLE. And SOLE can be fish. Oh, by the way, SOUL, maybe you've got some a collection of soul music, or maybe you've got a collection of soul cookbooks or something. You know, you could do that. So any way that you want to interpret it, if you want to do the soul searching theme with us, you can interpret it any way you want to. This is pretty literal. So shoes, you know, because you wear shoes, they have soles. So I had these cute little house shoes. And they, you know, these, I wore these for a long time, but they've got some holes in them, and those little things there are coming apart. You know, they're coming off. So I decided to go ahead and let those go. And then I had these 2 pairs of shoes. I've had these for years, and you can see they're really ratty. But the reason I didn't declutter them already was because I thought I could use those for when I'm doing things that I don't want to wear my good shoes, because I don't have a lot of shoes. And then they just sat there and I've not used them. And so, you know, and they've made the cut several times. I have decluttered others that I kept for that same purpose. But this time, no, they're not making the cut. They are going. And then this pair, these are the ones that I've been wearing for several years. And you can see they're getting kind of really worn and everything. I don't know when I got these exactly, maybe 2015, 2016. But I got them when my mom was, she had dementia, and at one point we did have to put her into a place. And so when I would go visit her, every time I go, she would say, "Oh, I love your shoes." And I don't know why, but she just always noticed these shoes every time I went to see her, and she would mention it every single time. And they were new at that time. And so, and that's my one pair of shoes, and so I would wear them all the time. And recently we did a cancer walk for a family that their son, when he was little, he had cancer, and I think he's 10 years cancer free now. I'm not sure, but yeah, but he was just little, so he's just barely a teenager at this point. And so anyway, I wore these shoes, and at one point the shoes came untied. The one shoe came untied, and Randy, I couldn't bend down because my back, and so Randy bent down and he tried to tie it for me, but he has Velcro, so that was a mess. And so we start walking again, and we realized we had to catch up, and so I had to power walk back to get up with our thing. And I don't know when it happened, but I can't power walk anymore. So I power walked about that. And so anyway, the shoes, after that, they were so stinky, even Febreze can't help them anymore. So I decided it's time for them to go. And I had this one pair that I kept when I decluttered a bunch, and they were in my closet. And I thought, well, I'm going to keep those because when these die, see, they had a hole in them, and, you know, they was getting pretty worn. And so I knew I was going to need a pair, and so I kept these. And I pulled these out, and, you know, they look pretty good, right? But here's the thing. They've been in there so long that the leather stuff was coming off of the tongue, and I scraped it all off, and they don't really fit well. You know, they don't feel good anymore. So you know what? They're getting decluttered too. I had to go and find a pair of shoes. I had to wear these shoes because these ones stunk so bad even after I Febrezed them, that I had to wear these shoes, and just so I could go get me a pair of shoes. So I thought I was prepared, but I wasn't. And you know what? I could keep these shoes because I have memories attached to them. You know, I have memories of my mom. She's no longer with us. And I also have memories of, you know, taking the cancer walk for our friend that has overcome cancer. But you know what? I don't need to. And that's the thing we have to do with the things that we have. We have to realize that they are not the memory. They are just something that we had, maybe that reminds us, but they are not the memory. And even without those shoes, I'll still remember my mom, and I'll still remember the day that we were walking along in the cancer walk, and my shoes came untied, and Randy couldn't tie them, and they came apart again, and I almost died from power walking. But you know what? We made it. The shoes didn't, but we made it. Because every time I put them on now, they stink. And my feet, my shoes, don't normally stink. So that's how I know it's time to let them go. They don't stink right now. Yeah, they don't stink right now. But if I put them on again, they would. Time to let them go. And so then I was looking for something more interesting, but I didn't find anything. But anyway, I had these footies in my drawer. Had several pair, and I realized I hadn't been wearing them because they're kind of thick. They're winter, and I thought, well, you know, I ain't been wearing them. I didn't wear them all winter. I'll just go ahead and declutter these. And I started to, and then I realized, I don't know why, but the other thing I didn't like was that I could feel the inside. I don't know if you can see it, but I could feel that on my feet, and I didn't like it. And it occurred to me to turn them inside out and wear them. And you know what? That's working. So I'm not going to declutter those after all. I'm going to use them because I like to wear some footies or house shoes or something around the house. So I'm going to actually keep those and use them. But I did find this. And this is also SOLE 1. It's the Soul Survivor. It is one sock. It didn't have a mate. If it did, I'd keep it and use them because I have another pair and I really like them. But one sock ain't gonna help me, so it's going. And then I have these they don't have a sole, so they're sole-less. But I don't ever wear these. I bought these when I was at work, and they're like leg warmers, I guess, and I don't wear them, so those are going to go. I haven't been working since 2019. I think it's time. And then these, I'm not tall. I'm 5'1½", and they're for tall. I don't know why I bought these, unless I just needed something and then couldn't find it, and then maybe I did find what I needed and never used them, but didn't take them back. So it's time for them to go as well. And so I was looking all through, and I was trying to find something in my books, and I found this. It's like all my self-help books. I wanted to read them still. But I found this, Chicken Soup for the Soul, S-O-U-L, and so I decided that I'm ready to let it go. There are several, oh look, and there's the sun. Well, there you go. How cool is that? I was looking for something with the sun. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is maybe work just a few of these, and then I'm going to go ahead and let this book go as well. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this little guy right here. Okay, so I've got the little froggy sun dancer thingy out here. I would put it down in my fairy garden because he's so cute, but he won't get any sun down there, so he won't be doing any solar dancing out there. And I thought about putting it on this bench, but I don't really see a great place. I sat it here for a second, but I don't think he looks really cute there. So I may have to look around a little bit more, but the other place I tried was right here on the windowsill thing. And yes, I do need to clean my windows, but not right now because it is hot out here. Anyway, there's two of those, and so maybe I'll bring the other one out and put it right here, and that'll get two things out of our garage. I'll just do that. Does that count as decluttering? I don't know, but at least I'm putting it to use. This one is just kind of chilling, kind of relaxing out here. But look at this one. It is going to town. No matter how you spell it, that's my soul-searching 10 minutes better for July. Till next time, happy decluttering. Bye. I knew this day was coming. My poor shoes, they've walked their last. There's a hole in one. The soles are worn, and their Febrezing days have passed. It really stinks to say goodbye. These shoes have served me well. I bore the holes, I wore the soles, but I can't get past the smell. Good thing I have a backup. It's a pair I've had for years. Still in the box, still looking new. Good in a pinch, no fears. But wait, what's this? My foot has grown? Or did my backup shrink? I didn't see that coming. Now I'm barefoot, and that stinks. What you doing, Pumpkin? Yeah? Are you going to declutter some stuff? Yeah. What you doing, Bubby? Huh? What you doing, Pumpkin? You going to take a nap? You are? Okay.